The top 20 fears in the world, starting with 20, going all the way up to number 1. What is your guess for number 1? Put it in the comments before this video ends, because I'd be curious to see if you know what the top fear is. We're getting into the top 10 now. Coming in at number 10 is trypophobia. This is a fear of holes. And you may have seen those pictures on Instagram, those memes that look very, very scary when there's loads of little holes together on someone's hand. You can have a fear of that, a genuine fear of that. Coming in at number 9 is aerophobia. This is a fear of flying. Now, between 33 and 40% of people actually have an anxious feeling or anxiety whenever they fly anyway. And 60% of people who suffer with this suffer with a general anxiety disorder as well. So you may be scared of flying, but you may not have this complete phobia, or you may have this phobia and you want to remove it. Coming in at number 8 is mesophobias, a phobia of germs, which is brilliant in today's world because everything is out there in your face and you are being scared by MSM. Let's face it, you are. Turn that news off and don't let those germs scare you. Now, this is a true phobia and I'm not trying to downplay this because this is a phobia. But if you want to remove this phobia, you know where to go. Coming in at number 7 is probably one that everyone has heard of. This is claustrophobia, the fear of small spaces. And this may stunt you from going into elevators, all these type of things. Now, again, this is going to stem from being in a panicked state in a small place. And it doesn't even have to be really dangerous. It just has to be sheer panic. Because real danger is not always associated to true panic. We can panic if we think something is actually going to happen. Like imagine this, imagine there's a tiger running at you and it's getting closer and closer and all you're doing is panicking and you don't know what to do until you realize there's a bit of glass in front of you that stops that tiger. That panic will still have set in because it was a real emotion. Coming in at number 6 is astrophobia, the fear of thunder and lightning. Now, we only actually have 2 real fears in life. That is the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. The 2 fears we are born with. So all of these fears can be removed, period. Coming in at number 5, we're hitting the top 5, is cynophobia. This is a fear of dogs. Now, you're probably gonna have this from having a bad experience with a dog. I've only had good experience with dogs, hence why I am not scared of dogs. But we can have this phobia if we've had a bad experience, or we've heard something, or we've seen something, we've interpreted it and internalized it, and it has given us sheer fear. Coming in at number 4 is agrophobia. Now, if you are agoraphobic, you most likely don't ever want to leave the house because it's your safe space and you don't want to be around open spaces. So can you guess the top 3 before we dive into it? If you haven't already, drop it in the comments because I'd be curious to know how many people know the top 3 fears. So coming in at number 3 is acrophobia, the fear of heights. The body's natural defense mechanism when we are on the edge of the cliff is to step back for safety. The body is trying to save us. If we associate this to a bad and negative and painful experience, then we're going to develop acrophobia. And notice the difference between agrophobia and acrophobia. Acro, again, imagining it as height, that's how you differentiate. That's how I differentiate it personally. Coming in at number 2 is the fear of spiders, arachnophobia. This is alongside also, and I'm gonna put, there's a joint second here, arachnophobia and orthodiophobia, the fear of snakes and the fear of spiders. Arachnophobia and orthodiophobia, they are a joint second because naturally they can harm us. Now, depending on where you live, I personally do not see snakes in the UK. The spiders that I see, again, very tiny. I've never come across an actual venomous snake or a venomous spider personally. Now, depending on where you're from, it makes sense to be scared of those venomous spiders because if that can attack you, or snake, if it does attack you, then there's something negative is going to happen. But is this fear rational when we see those little spiders or a little snake that we can't hold? Because I've held snakes before and I've held spiders. I'm not scared of either. I don't particularly like it, but I don't mind doing it. It's not something I choose to do, but I'll do it. And then coming in at number 1, did you guess it? Social phobias, which a lot of people are going to struggle with now, especially after being locked down for so long. We are natural beings that need to communicate with other people. The fact that we've had 1 to 2 years out of communication and pure communication is going to be very difficult for a lot of people to regain that muscle of confidence, of social ability. So there's going to be a lot of people with social phobias, especially in today's day, 2021. So if you've got a social phobia, drop it in the comments or let me know. Head over to my website so that we can remove that fear very quickly for you so that you can live the life that you desire. And also make sure you subscribe.